Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced, and welcome to this first in this video of learning how to use Dremio Cloud. Okay, now I have done a Dremio series before, so if you wanted to try out Dremio on your laptop before you create your own Dremio account, do check out my playlist using SQL with Dremio, which will walk you through setting it up on your laptop and trying out Dremio firsthand on a local environment. Now in this video, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into the Dremio cloud environment, so you can see sort of Dremio Cloud in action. Now, just to kind of recap what Dremio Cloud is, Dremio is a data lakehouse platform. So the idea is that you have a lot of data sources. Okay, as we see here, they could be databases, data lakes, data warehouses, ad hoc files, and oftentimes it can be really, really tricky, sort of like having to manage access to all these different data sources, like who has access, what do they have access to, making sure that it's performant in each place, or then you're doing different optimizations in each location. You have multiple copies of the same data, which can sometimes lead to regulatory issues or just higher storage and compute costs and all the moving around the data. So the idea is to simplify this whole story. And by giving you a platform that you can just put on top of all your data everywhere, and that is Dremio, which provides you a very easy and intuitive user interface, but also a fast query engine so you can query the data across all these sources quickly, a semantic layer so you can organize that data and deliver that data in a logically easy to understand, easy to discover data kind of way. Other acceleration features to always push performance even further. Governance, the ability to govern all your data across all these places in one spot, the ability to document all that data in one spot, and the ability to see the lineage within your semantic layer. Okay, so you have all this all in one platform that's easy to use. So the idea is to kind of give you the glue you need to take your whole data world and make it one cohesive unit from one place. Okay, so that's what Dremio does. In essence, it's a data lakehouse platform. It's primarily there to enable data lakehouse patterns, meaning being able to make your data lake more the center of your analytics world. So while you can connect databases, and if you have data warehouses, we can access it. Ideally, you don't necessarily need the data warehouse in the long run. You can operate directly from your data lake. And basically, you can move some of that data that you need into iceberg tables on your data lake. And Dremio can make that really easy to manage. But at the end of the day, we're all going to have data in many places, so you can connect those places as well and unify all that data sort of in one platform. So it enables data lakehouse architecture while also enabling high performance virtualization of all your data sources. Okay, so that's what Dremio does. It allows you to unify all your data in an easy to manage place so you can deliver it for BI dashboards, reporting, AI/ML, data applications, and so forth. So now that you have a better idea of what Dremio is, let's talk about how you get set up. So to get set up, what you're going to do is you're going to head over to Dremio Get Started. So you can dremio.com/get started. You're going to fill out this form, and then you have two choices of how you can get started. Okay, there's Dremio Cloud, which means there's no infrastructure you have to manage. Dremio manages all of it. Okay, so you just use it. Okay, and you can just take advantage of the platform, connect your sources, and get off to the races. Then there's Dremio Community Edition, which you do self-deploy, which can be done pretty easily using Kubernetes. We have some great Helm charts. If you're not familiar with what a Helm chart is, it's basically like a blueprint for deploying something on Kubernetes. So you have both of these paths to getting your Dremio story started. Now, there are slight differences between software and cloud. For the most part, they're the same. So again, as far as like what the user interface would be in the software or community edition would be much more similar to that Dremio on your laptop series we did earlier. So again, using SQL with Dremio. Now, Dremio Cloud is going to be, again, slightly different. So this particular video series is going to be focused on using Dremio Cloud, just so that way you're aware of those minor UI differences between the two sets of videos. So you'd want to click Dremio Cloud. Now, keep in mind, you will have to connect your cloud vendor or your cloud services during the sign-up process. Right now, you can support AWS and Azure. So you would have to connect your Azure or AWS account during sign-up to create your initial project. Okay? It's pretty simple. It's very point and click to do so, but just be aware that you're going to want to be logged into your AWS, be logged into your Azure to make that sign-up process pretty quick, pretty easy, pretty painless. Okay, cool. So that's that. Once you're done with the sign-up process, you're going to land on the Dremio UI. So this is the Dremio Cloud UI. Now mine looks a little bit more populated than it will be when you sign up because, well, this is my account and there's stuff in there already. But the idea is that you're going to have a couple main areas. You're going to have in this main screen, essentially here's going to be your default catalog. So every Dremio project has an internal catalog to track tables that you create from, iceberg tables that Dremio will track for you. That you could create in Dremio, you could create outside of Dremio. It leverages a technology called Nessie. So if you watched the Apache Spark 101 videos, we did leverage Nessie when we did a quick sort of transaction between, ingesting with Spark and reading in Dremio to see that in action. The only difference here is that you don't have to set up Nessie yourself. Dremio manages all that for you. So you just have a Nessie catalog. You get all the benefits of like branching, merging, being able to create zero copy clones and things like that without any of the setup. It's just built in. Okay, then you can connect all your data sources. So again, I can always create more of these catalogs. These are called Arctic catalogs. So these Nessie-based catalogs that I just mentioned, they're called Arctic catalogs. It's all part of Dremio's lakehouse management features that basically make it really easy to run a lakehouse because you have a really easy way to track your tables in your lakehouse. And these Arctic catalogs also have built-in auto optimization where they can auto run maintenance on your iceberg tables so that way you don't have to worry about maintaining them yourself. We'll maintain them for you. Okay. Again, you can also connect your AWS Glue Metastore. You can connect your different object storage providers, different databases and data warehouses. There's a lot of sources you can connect and unify all here from Dremio. Okay, so I have a few S3 buckets that I have connected, and I have a few catalogs that are using my S3 buckets as storage. But again, I'm interfacing with the catalog that Dremio is running. And again, you can add as many of these as you want. Okay, but again, there's always a default catalog that basically is your center of that particular project. Okay, I can generally use this to kind of navigate between all my data sets. If I had wiki content for a particular data set, I could see it over here. Okay, again, we'll go more deeper into this in future videos. You have the SQL runner where you can run SQL against all your data sets. Again, we'll play with this more in the future. You have your jobs tab where you can see all the jobs run against your Dremio cluster to examine them further, at least the ones that you have access to. Okay, if you're the admin, you have access to everything. Okay, here's where you can find the project information. So remember that there's your organization, that's your main account in Dremio. So if you're the first person to sign up, okay, so if I work for XYZ Incorporated and I create a Dremio organization, that Dremio organization can have many projects. And every project can add many users. So in that case, again, depending on where you are in the mix, your experience of Dremio might be different. If you're the Dremio admin, you create that organization, and then you would invite users to your project and then allocate them access to data sets that you want them to have access to. If you are a end user, a consumer of the data, you will get an account assigned to you by your admin who already created a Dremio organization, and you'll be able to log in and see only the data you've been given access to. Okay, and only be able to operate at the level you've been given to operate. Okay, that's the beauty of it. Okay, here you can see lots of tutorials, so that way you can learn how to get hands-on exercises on working with Dremio. Very helpful. Okay, here you can see all your different Dremio projects, which either fall into your main projects, which are called Sonar projects. These are essentially your query engine. Okay, so essentially this view right here, this is a Sonar project. You can have multiple of them. So it's just a place where you can see all your data and then query it. Okay, and then these Arctic catalogs are Arctic projects, which again you can see separately, and I can create as many different Arctic catalogs as I want. I can quickly just add a catalog by clicking add catalog pretty easily. Okay, and then over here I can see my organization settings. Okay, so from here I can quickly add a Sonar or Arctic project. So again, query engine catalog, or I can go manage my organization by clicking right over here. Okay. And then over here, you can find the documentation. And then over here, you can find your personal account settings. These are going to be your account settings, which is where you'll generate like personal access tokens for accessing Dremio external from Dremio using like Aeroflight or the REST API or JDBC, ODBC. That's where you kind of get all that. Okay, so that's a quick tour of the Dremio UI. You'll see that it's pretty easy to use and pretty flexible across the next several videos. I'll see you there. Have a good one.